maybe 2 weeks into phase 2 of President Trump's Gaza peace plan. But a crucial part of the second stage, as getting Hamas to disarm and Israeli forces to withdraw, is proving a very tough sell. As for rebuilding a territory in ruins, still a pipe dream. There's also a humanitarian crisis that has yet to be addressed. Blake Sifton filed this report for CNN from Tel Aviv.
With typical flourish, U.S. President Donald Trump pushed his Gaza peace plan into its phase 2, establishing the Board of Peace to oversee management of the Strip, along with a committee of Palestinian technocrats.
We're committed to ensuring Gaza is demilitarized, properly governed, and beautifully rebuilt. It's going to be a great plan. We're going to be very successful in Gaza. It's going to be a great thing to watch.
But nearly 4 months into the ceasefire, the war continues to claim lives. Local authorities say almost 500 Palestinians have been killed in ongoing Israeli airstrikes and shootings. The UN says at least 100 of them were children. 3 Israeli soldiers have also been killed.
And still some people refer to what's happening as a diplomatic success. The loss of Palestinian lives has been entirely normalized by a big part of the international community, particularly those behind the idea of a board of peace.
The humanitarian crisis remains desperate, with Israel accused of blocking aid and supplies needed to weather the winter storms. Palestinians here say their lives have not gotten better since the ceasefire.
ولا تحسنت ولا حاجة زي ما هو يبقى الوضع على ما هو عليه الجوع جوع والفقر فقر والمعاناة معاناة الضرب ضرب والقصف قصف هي.
For their part, Israel accused Hamas of purposely delaying the return of deceased hostages from Gaza. The last body was recovered just this week. Though both Israel and Hamas blame each other for violating the ceasefire's first phase, President Trump has enthusiastically moved forward into the second.
Forming the Board of Peace and the Palestinian Technocratic Committee that will manage Gaza were in many ways the easy parts of Phase 2. Much more difficult obstacles must now be overcome.
Chief among them is the disarming of Hamas and the demilitarization of Gaza.
They have to give up their weapons, and if they don't do that, it's going to be the end of them.
Hamas have refused to disarm, saying only that they would consider freezing their weapons as part of a long-term truce. Former Israeli ambassador Alon Liel believes Hamas can be convinced to give up their arms if mediators Turkey and Qatar are allowed to play a role on the ground, but Israel is opposed over their close links to the group.
They will lay down the arms if they feel they have somebody they can trust deep in the picture, deep into the game, and they trust Turkey and Qatar.
Another major challenge will be the formation and deployment of the international force tasked to secure and demilitarize Gaza. Countries like Indonesia and Bangladesh have shown an interest in participating, but no country has publicly committed to sending troops. Many people in Gaza also don't want foreign soldiers.
قوات دولية احنا لو بتيجي هنا احنا بدنا نعتبرها احتلال لأنه احنا الشعب الفلسطيني ما بحكمنا لنفسنا.
Israel must also be convinced to withdraw its forces from the 53% of Gaza it still holds. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is under pressure from his far-right coalition to stay in Gaza and called the U.S. announcement of the start of Phase 2 a declarative move.
Nothing of what's happening now Netanyahu likes. For him politically it's a problem. He didn't want to end the war. Now it was imposed on him. Phase 2 is imposed on him.
The U.S. has ambitious plans for Gaza's reconstruction, envisioning a tourist zone along the coast, data centers, and an airport. It's a far cry from the reality on the ground, where Gaza is all but ruin and rubble, and where most of the population are displaced. From this vantage point, the American vision of reconstruction remains both out of sight and out of reach. For CNA, I'm Blake Sifton in Tel Aviv.